everyone. I'm back. I'm back. I have been really quiet on all platforms, all areas of the internet and social media. And that's been here on Facebook and Instagram. I took a week off the podcast, which I never do. And there was no podcast episode that came out. And yeah, I've just been hibernating. I have been really quiet. And I'm here to break some of that silence and to be vulnerable with all of you and to share some major revelations and healing that I've been going through, and also to update you on what's to come, tell you more about why the number 111 is in the description of this video. Tell us about the human design course you made. I'm going to tell you about that actually. That's not till the end. I hope you can wait. I want to tell you a few other things first before I dive in there. But yeah, the last 3 to 4 weeks have been fucking tough. How have you guys been feeling? How have the last month? How has the last month been for you? There's so much happening in the world. This year is unlike anything any of us have lived through. And yeah, for me personally, on a personal level, it's been really, really fucking tough. Really tough. And this is an uncensored community. This is an uncensored brand, and I'm here to show up even though the last month has been really, really fucking tough. I haven't felt like myself at all. And you guys know that feeling when you're like, I just don't feel like myself. And you're like, I want to be myself, but I don't know how to get back to her. That's how I felt. Like, where is Sarah fucking Small? Like, where is she? Where is she? And why can't I tap into her energy? And I've been doing the bare minimum in my business to just keep up with obligations, commitments to my clients, to my programs. Even in my programs, I've taken some time off, and thank you for those of you in my programs for being so understanding. Because I've needed space, and that's, yeah, at the bare minimum is all I've been able to do lately. And as you guys, I'm assuming most of you are my personal Facebook friend. And so if you are, you maybe have seen what I shared on my personal page, which is that I experienced a pregnancy loss. And it was unlike anything I ever imagined it would be. I had this idea of what that was like for women. I have clients who've experienced this. I have clients who've experienced it numerous times. I know people. And I still was so shook. It was nothing like I thought it would be. It was really horrible. I don't sugarcoat. And to be so excited for something, and to feel it as so real, and to start planning a life with a baby, and what that was supposed to be, and it was supposed to be like, and what joy we were going to be able to experience, and then to get that phone call that said, this is no longer a viable pregnancy, was just devastating. I didn't think I was going to cry. I've cried so much that I didn't think I had more tears. But I guess I do. It's just devastating. And I'm not going to go through the whole story again. I shared it on my personal page if you guys want to read more. But as I shared in that post, it turned out to be much more complicated because it was a tubal pregnancy. tubal and ectopic pregnancies they're different than a traditional miscarriage in the uterus. And all of the traditional ways of dealing with a pregnancy loss no longer are options. You don't get to choose whether you're going to miscarry naturally. You don't get to choose to have a D&C where they go in and scrape. I should have put a trigger warning. I'm so sorry. I should have put a trigger warning at the beginning of this video. You don't get to choose whether you want to take a pill and miscarry. You get two choices. You get to choose either surgery through your belly button to cut into your fallopian tube under complete, full anesthesia, general anesthesia, which felt very invasive for me. Or you get to choose chemotherapy, not the full dose that you would get if you were treating cancer, but it's the same drug they used in chemotherapy to treat cancer. It's an injection that you get in your tush. And so I went with the chemo. There were only those two options, and I hated them. You guys know me. I hated them. Like, fuck. That chemotherapy on this highly sensitive body that hadn't even had an ibuprofen in 8 fucking years was rough. It was a shock to my system. And I had a lot of symptoms that I won't go into detail on, but I will say I was exhausted beyond explanation. And I lost all my motivation because I really just needed to take care of myself. I just needed to slow down. And slowing down is not easy for Sarah Small. It is not easy for me to slow down. I am here to fully admit that. I love to create. I love to show up for you guys. I love to be in my high vibe energy. Slowing down is hard. Slowing down was triggering as fuck. Ooh, comparison. In the middle of protests and riots and revolutions, I was pretty much stuck on my couch, and it was really triggering. But I just needed to take care of myself. I just needed to slow down and take care of myself. And this has been going on for several weeks now. And this past weekend, so it's Monday, yesterday, Saturday, Sunday, it was like, I'm starting to feel like myself again. I'm having less panic attacks and less tears, and more inspiration is starting to come through. And I'm starting to come back into my being, into me. I feel like I'm getting my body back a little bit, and I'm becoming more of myself. And then yesterday, Father's Day, I did a powerful breathwork practice around healing the father wound. I didn't think that the father wound had anything to do with how sad and not myself I was around pregnancy loss. But here's what I realized in this powerful breathwork practice. My dad, Tom, is an amazing man. And he's also where I get a lot of my high sensitivity from, my emotionality from. There's some giant truck outside my window, so my dog's gonna bark. And at the core, he's a really sensitive guy. But he was raised by more unemotional parents, and parents that were a little bit more judgmental and felt like hard work equals, or taught hard work equals success, that they probably learned from their parents. And that, emotions are more of this sign of weakness. And I see that because my grandparents are still living, so I can still see that conditioning that he was raised in. And from the beginning of my life and what I can remember, I feel like the way to his heart in my mind, because this is my conditioning, the way to his heart in my mind was to achieve. Achieve, 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 get A's, score goals in soccer, be the best, achieve, achieve, achieve. Yet, for whatever reason, I still never felt important enough. I still never felt important. I felt like I still never achieved quite enough to be worthy of his love, because that was the only way I could see. Achievement was the way to love, and if I'm not achieving, then there will be no love, which is a very limiting perspective. And when my dad got remarried, when I was 15 or 16 years old, he got remarried. And it felt at the time like he chose his wife over all of us children. This is coming from a 16-year-old. But that's what it felt like. And I felt like even more now, I wasn't enough for him to love. Yet I craved his love and his approval so badly. More than anyone in the world, I craved his love and his approval. And here's where I didn't realize these were connected at all, and now my mind is blown after my breathwork session. When I got pregnant a couple months ago, I felt like this is the ultimate fucking achievement. I am gonna make you a grandpa. I'm the highest achiever of all. Are you so proud of me? And then I lost the pregnancy. And I felt like I failed. I felt like my body failed. I felt like I failed my family, my dad included, my husband. I felt like the thing I'm good at is achieving. And I just failed. And then I realized during this breathwork session, which by the way is like 5 hours of therapy in like 20 minutes. I realized during this breathwork session that it's time to stop fucking achieving for my Father's love. For anybody's love, for anybody's fucking approval. That is so limiting and so exhausting. Stop fucking achieving for approval. Stop fucking achieving for love. And what it is time for is to start dropping more into my body and being myself. Being Sarah Small. In all of her Sarah Smallness. And being in my feminine energy. And being in touch with my emotions and my emotional intelligence. Because emotions are not weakness. Some of the smartest, most successful people in the world are highly, highly emotionally intelligent and express their emotions. And this weekend, as I started to finally feel more like myself again, I was also creating this course on human design for entrepreneurs. Because I had a deadline, I had to create it for my Empath Entrepreneur Academy students, and I was due. So I sat down to do it, and I learned so much about myself in that process as well. I'm a projector. Do you guys know what your human design is? Drop it below. Let me know. My human design is a projector. And we are meant as projectors to be highly connected to our emotions, our feelings, with all of our open centers. And to speak our power into the world and lead. Projectors are meant to lead. They are meant to be it, to live it, and then to lead through it, with it, to be the embodiment of it and lead. So as a projector, as Sarah Small, as an empath, as a daughter, as a woman, I am here to lead. And I'm here to show up in my messiness, in my imperfections, in my heartbreak, in the trauma, in the challenge, in the struggle, in my messy power, and lead. And to embrace my feminine energy with all y'all as witnesses. So what you can expect from me is to continue to show up and lead. As a projector, as an empath, as a woman, all the things and all the roles I play in my life to show up and to lead. But not just to lead and to preach, do this, do that, to lead through my own story. To lead through what I've lived through. And then share that with you. With the most pure, raw, authentic heart. So this is something I've been meaning to do for about a month now, but a lot has come up in my life, so I kept putting it back on the back burner and all the things. And what I've been meaning to do is challenge myself to connect to you, to your heart, to like be here and connect to you so deeply through 111 live streams that are going to be daily-ish because I don't want the pressure of every single day. And I get to do what I want in my business. So 111 daily-ish live streams, which is why that number 1 out of 111, here's number 1. Here's number 1. Some of them might be long, some of them might be super short. I don't know yet. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about tomorrow or the next day or the next day. I'm just here to share and lead with my heart. And I hope that as many of these 111 live streams that you may tune into are divinely timed for you and that they activate something within you that help you be your best self and lead yourself and be the embodiment of the leader in your life. I'm excited. I also feel like this is a challenge. And it also feels like divine timing. It feels like a good time to be showing up and to be leading right now. But not leading based on what someone else tells me I should be doing or how I should be leading, and instead leading with my intuition, my self. So, it's been a while. I've been quiet. I'm back. I'm here to share. And in the sharing, I also want to update you on what the heck has been going on and what's happening at the Uncensored Empath. So the first thing is this live stream series. This is what's to come. Number 2 is Human Design for Entrepreneurs, Empath Entrepreneurs. Human Design for Empath Entrepreneurs. And it is a course that I made over the weekend. And the first part is an introduction to human design that goes over the 9 centers and what they overlap with the chakras a tiny bit, but in human design, they're completely different. But if you look at the chart, it sort of looks like a chakra. And there's these 9 centers that all have different energies dependent on whether they're open or closed within your chart. And I'll teach you how to get your chart if you don't already know it. Some of you have already said you're reflectors and manifestors and more manifestors. And the first training goes through whether your center is open or closed, what that means for your business. Then, depending on your type, there's 5 types manifester, manifesting generator, projector, reflector. I can't believe we have a reflector on here. Sandy, that's so cool. I've never worked with a reflector before. It's 1% of the population. Unicorns out there. Depending on which type you are, there's a different training. There's 5 trainings for each type. If you're a coach though, and you want to use this with your clients, go listen to all of them because you get all of them regardless. And then let's say I'm a projector. So the projector will have a training with very specific things to do, change, shift, consider in your business. And then there's a workbook. It's just a 4 or 5 page workbook for each of the types. And in the workbook and in the first training, there's a lot of information also on how to tap into your abundance, depending on your identity center. Okay? That's about to launch. I don't have a sales page yet, but if you're like, I already know I want it, I'll send you the link. You can buy it if you want to buy it, but the sales page isn't built out quite yet. It's free for everyone it's included inside of Empath Entrepreneur Academy. Number 3, my Empath Healers membership. I love this. I'm not taking any more one-on-one clients right now, like closed. So the Empath Healers membership is your access, your gateway into working with me right now. I launched it the week before I went through a miscarriage, and so things have been a little bumpy. But everyone inside is so fucking amazing. We've already done 2 trainings. We have our first group coaching call tomorrow. Next week, we have a breathwork session where you get to do 5 hours of therapy in 20 minutes. Every month, we have 3 calls. There's also other little bonuses, discounts on programs, and all that jazz that I'll be including in there. It's still being built. It's not perfect yet. It's still being built. But there's 26 women inside who have taken that leap of faith and said yes, and we're on a journey together. You can join that today. There's no sales page for that either, though. When I've said I was doing the bare minimum in my business lately, I meant it. There are no sales pages for anything, but things are still running behind the business, behind the scenes, and I just want to tell you guys about them in case you are wanting support in your life right now. So we got Human Design for Entrepreneurs, the live stream series, 111, you're going to see a lot of me. We've got the Empath Healers membership. This is really, if I could sum it up in one word, this will probably go on the sales page. This is healing for the healers of the world, because we got to do the inner work to then go out and be our most powerful, impactful selves. So on our group coaching calls, we might talk about like launching and strategy and whatever is coming up for you, but the emphasis is more on your inner work to get out of your own way. And I saw you all vote on that poll I put out last night, and there's like 45 people who have said what they're working on is getting out of their own way. So I want to see all 45 of you inside the membership. That's what I made it for. Number 4 is a little tease. It's not ready yet. I don't have anything for you yet, but it's coming. And it's an all access pass. And I'm really excited about it. I've never done anything like this before. It's an all access pass and it includes all access. There's a couple exceptions, like Illuminated. My coach training program is a higher investment 8-month program. We already started 4 or 5 months ago, so like you can't just jump in the middle of that. So that's not included, but it's an all access pass to pretty much everything else, including past courses and courses that I'll be launching once a month for the next 6 months. It's gonna be good. And it's gonna be crazy low price. Because something shifted in me the last 2 months. It started happening around quarantine. Something shifted in me and I was like, I want my programs to be really, really accessible. I'm just really wanting them to be accessible right now. So it's gonna be a ridiculous price for an all access pass, and it's gonna be good. All right, let's answer some questions. What questions do you guys have? Entire way of being raised is bullshit. Yeah, Carrie. Thank you, Sandy. Talk about and share anything you want to. Thank you guys. I'm good. You're going to hear a lot of me. I will. Do we get that in our monthly membership, or is that something on its own? The Human Design for Entrepreneurs is on its own, but you get a discount if you're in the membership. I will be sharing the discounted rate when I have a sales page. If you want it now, though, we can figure it out. And then Carrie's question is, what's the cost for the Human Design course? $247. $247. You get like 6 trainings, all the workbooks, and I think I'm actually going to add 1 live call to that package. So the live call, my rate is around $200 an hour, and so that live call and all the trainings and the workbooks is just $247. So if you want it, let me know. I can get you in right away. There's no pretty sales page yet. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hearing me and seeing me today. I really truly appreciate it. It's been a lot lately, but I don't know, something in me today was just like the title of this live, like, she's back. Like I just feel like I'm back. My heart is here. My heart is ready to serve. My heart is ready to create balance between still taking care of myself and serving. So I'm excited. I got some catching up to do on some things, but it'll all work out in divine timing. All right, y'all. I love you. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Day 2 of 111. See ya.